We all take losses when it comes to trading. But let me ask you this. Do you know how many types of losses actually exist? What does emotions have to do with the number of losses you take all the time? And most importantly, how do you even get rid of emotions in order for you to improve your trading performances? Well, no worries, because this is the video that will give you the most objective approach for you to understand all of the above. I promise you that by the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of what actions to take in order for you to tackle emotions the right way and improve your trading results to the best. I am talking from experience, trust me, and I will give you my highs and lows on what I did wrong and how doing the right things has saved me from the silly emotional mistakes I used to make all the time. So stay tuned, because if you miss this, I'm really sorry for you guys. Let's get started. The big mistakes that people make when it comes to trading is thinking that trading is a profession, same as any other professions. Indeed, I myself thought as well the same, where you learn how the technical works, then you jump on the chart feeling like you will destroy the world. But the next thing you know is that the chart is destroying you. But in reality, it's not even the chart. It's you that destroys yourself without even knowing it. It happened to me, and it happens to everyone. So let's understand why this happens and why managing emotions in trading is so essential. First thing first, think about it like this. When you go to work for the first time, you get trained for the job, right? Over months, you become now a pro and you know how to do your job properly. And this applies to any field, while in trading is actually the opposite. More training or education you do, more you end up ruining yourself and point of success. You now might be wondering how. Well, because trading is like hunting in the jungle. There are so many hunters that will teach you how to hunt, but they all have different techniques. And you can understand that you cannot use all the techniques in one go in order for you to hunt a prey. This is exactly what happens to you literally after you learn to trade from so many different sources and traders. One of the first emotions that probably you feel or felt by now is definitely the frustrations, as you have no idea why or what is happening, as everyone is giving you so much information and trading techniques. So when you jump on the chart, you start finding so many ways of hunting just for a trade. This is probably one of the main triggers that brings all our human senses and emotions into play. And this is one of the triggers that starts ruining your performances. Of course, there are so many other variables to take in account and considerations. Furthermore, I can promise you that this is the same exact journey that you, me, and many of us went through, or is going through, or you will go through at one point in the trading journey. So now the question is, if this is the case, how do you tackle that? The answer is using one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful tool available to you as a trader, which is the trading journal. You might have heard about it, or maybe not, but bear with me, because the trading journal is not what you think, or at least what you know based on everything that you've seen online. At least this is something that I can tell you guys based on my own experience. I might be wrong, but I can share with you guys that what I did and how I improved that, so you guys can then see if you can truly relate that. So first thing first, what is a trading journal? What do you even do with it? And why is this so important? Now, the trading journal is pretty much, the way I see it, is just a personal diary, okay? Now, trading journal, okay, equal personal diary. Okay, what do you mean by personal diary, and why I say this is a personal diary? Because over the years, whenever I was following other people and I was trying to understand what was a trading journal, one thing that didn't click on me is that I started finding boring. I'll be real honest with you guys. So I started finding it boring, the fact that every time that I have my journal and I need to go on that journal and I need to type out the type of pairs I traded, when I traded, the timing I traded, the TP I hit, because the trading journal is pretty much, that will always tell you, it's like a track record of yourself, writing down everything that you did within a trading journey. Okay, so if you're a day trader, weekly trader, or swing trader, you have to put all this information within your trading journal. And then by doing this, you have like a track record analysis of you knowing exactly what is it that you did right, what is it you did wrong, and how you could have improved, and etc. Now, the thing that I've found, and I've seen this happening to so many traders, is that many traders relates this trading journal as being something that is extremely boring. Okay, and this is dangerous, because that's the same thing that happened to me as well. I was like, oh, this is too boring. I have no time to go on the journal, and this journal is not that, oh, this some specific structure. It's something you can do it on Excel, you can do it in PowerPoint, you can do it in Word document, whatever way you want to do it. So that will always tell you to write down, let's say, I don't know, let me type it in again. So you can write down your pairs, your entry model, right? Your TP, your timing, and your losses. Now, one thing that I started finding very hard is that when I started doing this, not only I got bored because I couldn't understand the importance of that and it wasn't making any good impact on me, but the second thing is that I couldn't relate this to anyone because I was following someone else that told me to do this sort of thing. So have a journal, type down pairs, entry model, your TP, your timing, and your losses. The other individual was telling me always like, look, this works because it helps you with your psychology. Well, me, I haven't seen an improvement. So the question is why? Why I couldn't see any improvement on myself, on my trading when I started typing all of this down? Because the reality is that the trading journal is literally every single thing that you can confess to yourself every time that you are making mistakes on the chart. So what do I mean? It's simply imagine that whenever, I don't know if you guys had any personal diary, I personally never had that, but if I were to have a personal diary, I would be writing down every single emotion as a human being I felt during the day, during interaction with the other, on whatever I did right or wrong for the day with my friends, family, and people, right? So I will be saying, oh, this is how I felt, this is how I'm not feeling, or maybe I'm feeling lonely, maybe I'm feeling frustrated or whatever. And the same, it has to go pretty much on your journal where every time you're trading, you have to type down the type of emotions that were triggering you to take certain type of losses. So why this is important, and I'm going to show you shortly in a bit on the chart, is because you have to guys understand that we as a human being, we have so many emotions that affects us on a daily basis that we are probably even aware of, right? But from the moment when you start typing them down every single time when you're trading, and because of that emotion you're taking a losses, I can tell you that deep dive, you start becoming more aware of literally who you are truly as a person, okay? And over time, you start then distinguishing one of the most important things as a trader that should be doing is that understanding the type of losses you guys are taking. And that's what I mentioned on my intro. When you take losses, right, there are two types of losses that you might can encounter. And one is, oh, sorry guys, okay, let me remove this. One is technical losses, right? And the second one is emotional losses. So what do I mean is that, let's go to the chart, so I'll show you now. One second. Okay, cool. So technical losses and emotional losses. Why they are important is because they can literally break or make your trading strategy, okay? So for example, let me show you this. Just a simple example so you guys can understand what I'm talking about. So let's go to the most cleanest price action over here, which is this one over here, okay? So now let's imagine, let me see, okay, perfect, check this out. Imagine that you have this trade over here, right? Simple smart money concept, simple structure, nothing complex. Check this out. So here we have this structure, okay? So you have a high, a low, high, low, high, low, high to the upside, right? Price breaks the structure, then it makes a retracement, okay? And then it goes down. Now imagine, based on your smart money understanding and strategy, if you use order block, your order block will be somewhere over here, right? Do you guys see that? Okay, this order block over here. Now this is where exactly you should be waiting for your trade to happen, to take the trade. So you will be waiting for a break of structure, price coming over here, and then price gonna start retracing to the downside. That's its expectation, let's say based on your analysis. However, what happens, right, is that you can clearly see price break the structure, it retraces, but didn't tap over here. And trust me, I had that, and I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, you might have this at least once in your life, which is you started now feeling the FOMO because you're staring the candles by candle, and asking yourself, is it this gonna hit my entry point, which is over here? And how far it is right now from where it's standing from this blue candle. It's literally 1.5 pips, let's say, okay? And what you do is that instead of waiting for your price to hit your POY, you just jump on the trade, which is this one. And now you take the trade because you don't want to miss this. And that's one of the very important emotions that destroys any trader, which is FOMO. All right. So you start getting in FOMO. You feel like, okay, I know the direction because price is going to go wherever I see it's going. In this case, sell. I cannot miss that, especially if it's a nice 1 to 5. So then you jump on this trade. Okay. You take the trade. You see price playing out nicely to the downside. Of course, in this case, it's like 1, 2, 3. Some people would be already break even. Some people, maybe they're not break even because they're not confident yet. But let's say that you're waiting for price to reach somewhere around here. And then the next thing you know is that price literally goes up, takes you out, and then runs away. Okay? So here, when you're in front of this type of situation, you have to ask yourself 2 questions. What type of stop loss is this stop over here? Is it a technical loss or is it an emotional loss? Are you guys following what I'm saying when I say there are 2 types of losses you can hit? And trust me, I'm telling you this based on my personal experience. It's not that I learned from someone or there are some gurus or someone talking about it. I don't even know if anyone is talking about it because I've never seen anyone saying what I'm saying to you now. So this is important because from the moment when this becomes a loss, right? So let me mark this as a loss over here, right? Now you go to your trading journal and you say, like personally, that's what I wanted to share with you guys. It's like I personally, over the 3-4 years I've been trading, I never wrote down the amount of like what is a pair, what is a time frame, what is a trade. All I did was first thing first, every single day, writing down on this journal of mine, on my diary, what type of negative emotions I used to have as an individual. What are my weaknesses? And guys, let me tell you this. In trading, you gotta be humble. You need to know how to put your head down in order for you to truly succeed. And if you're someone with so much ego, there's nothing wrong with it. Like you are you, okay? So nobody can blame you. However, having ego is not something that will help you in order for you to succeed in trading. As I said, you need to learn to be humble. So if you got ego, you got some negative something, I'm nobody to judge you and nobody should be even judging you. It's normal. We are all different, okay? But you need to be fully acknowledged, like you need to fully acknowledge this and you'll be like, okay, one of my biggest problem is probably, let's say, the ego. Or one of my biggest problem is any type of negative emotion, and then you tap them down, right? So you can say you got revenge trading issues. You can say that you have something like FOMO trading, and then I don't know, let's say over trading. All right. So those are some of the emotions that triggers you to take these type of actions. Now, once you got this writing down over here, right, and then on your journal, when you got all of this written down, and when you're hitting a loss in audience CD, so you can say on the audience CD, I hit a stop loss. It helps you to analyze and to figure out that this loss over here wasn't because the price didn't respect your entry criteria. So what do I mean is that it's not that price broke to the downside, then hit your stop loss and just it went to the other way above, right? It's not technical. This is emotional because you hit a stop loss because of your FOMO. You had a FOMO because you were scared of missing the trade, leaving you behind, right? And you wanted to be into that trade. And how do you guys think it's very important for you to acknowledge this? Why do you think it's important to acknowledge this? Because over a period of time, right, if you take, let's say, 10 trades, right, where out of the 10 trades, you have at least 8 stop losses, right? I mean, I hope you don't get to that, but let's say you have that, and you break this down, and you find out that probably, I don't know, 3 of the losses, were, 3 of the losses, right, were due to FOMO, right? 2 of the losses were, let's say, due to over trading, okay? Other 3, so we got, so let me put, other 3, so is 8 losses, right? The other 2, or you can actually put even, let's say, the other 2, right, are for revenge trading, okay? Now you know that you got 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 7. So all these trades over here, and then you go one more loss. So in this case, we go 1, which is technical loss. All right. So now you know that you have something to work with on yourself, on your journal. Okay. And again, I'm telling you, there is no solid structure that you should be using as long as you understand the principle of what I'm sharing with you. Okay. So you got 10 trades, 8 losses, 3 losses were due to FOMO. 2 were due to overtrading, 2 due to revenge trading, and then 1 is technical. Let me ask you this, guys. If you were to be a robot without any emotions, how many stops do you think you would have taken over here following the exact trading plan, the exact rule that you have assigned to yourself? Well, I guess you would have taken definitely only 1 loss. And the rest probably would have been TP, okay? Because why? This is the technical loss. And technical loss is something that you cannot control it because it's not in our hand. We don't know where the price is going. All right? That's why we are here, because we need to know how to manage our risk whenever we are hitting the technical loss. But when you start writing every single day down right, your losses, the way you're hitting your losses, the way your losses are structured, you start pulling out something very important, which is, can anyone guess? Which is literally datas, right? Important datas. So, okay, one second. Important datas that will help you to know where and how to improve every single day. Okay, are you following me? Why? Because from the moment when you have this in front of you and you know the amount of losses you're taking because of certain emotional triggers that you have, okay, you know now that it's not that your strategy that requires to be changed, it's something on you that requires a lot of work. Okay, so as your self, that's what I'm saying to you. If you have an ego, nobody should be blaming you, but you should be aware of it, and you should be working hard on that to say, okay, I don't need to have an ego. And when I say ego, because I came across so many traders that are massive ego and they never wanted to be wrong, and I do understand that. You remember when I said at the beginning, when you go for work, you get trained and you become a pro, and the same goes over here. You work so hard, you learn how to trade and everything, but you don't want to be wrong. You cannot be wrong because you know you put so much effort. Therefore, you cannot accept the fact that you're wrong and that the market is going against you, against your willingness, against your understanding. And that's why, that's one of the reasons why you go into the revenge trading, because you want to revenge, you want to show to the market that you were right and that you cannot be wrong. Okay, so now when you start having this, then is the moment when you know that, okay, maybe my my strategy works, because I can see that in 10 trades only one was due to technical loss. Okay, and that means that you have a very good win rate, by the way. But then you know that, okay, this is fine technical ways, now I need to work on myself. So how then you should be starting doing this? How should you be starting understanding where you can improve step by step? First thing first, okay, and this is something, again, like whenever I take a trade, or I used to I take a trade based on emotions and everything. Whenever I was having the data, so let's say this is something that you don't have to do in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. You have to do at least, I'm saying at least every single day for 1 to 3 months. And I'm saying this is a long time, but you still have to do at least data collection of 1 to 3 months, because you need to know, you need to figure out by the end of every week, by the end of every month, okay, the amount of losses you've taken and what are the causes that brought to that losses. So once you have that data, so let's say that now it's 3 due to FOMO, okay, fear of missing out. And at the end of the month, you got 30 losses on that. Okay, so now that you know that, and every time you're trying to assembling all your trades, trying to take a trade, first thing first, you have to have this specific list of data, right, in front of you, because this is important. That makes you self-aware of this, and you're like, okay, I know that now this broke the structure. I'm about to take this trade. Last month, okay, so you can write it down anywhere. Last month, I had over 30 losses that were due to FOMO, okay, and you are fully aware of it. Therefore, what I need to do now is just wait and to see if price comes here and fills my entry. And I can tell you that this is the same exact approach you can use with every single steps over here. Overtrading, revenge trading, like typing it down. I know it sounds, trust me, it sounds a lot of work. It's actually not. And I used to avoid a lot the trading journal. Okay, I used to avoid it. I hate it because it was boring. I couldn't bother myself writing down the way I said before, like, you know, the pairs, or what is it? I wrote it somewhere before. So the pairs, the timing, it's just too much work, and you have to make it personal. The trading journal is personal to you. That's why I say it's a personal diary, because you cannot copy what someone else is doing. Maybe for them it works. I'm not saying that what they're doing with the timing, with the pairs and everything else is absolutely wrong. No, it's absolutely not. It's right for them. But you cannot copy someone else's work and reflect back to your, because you're never gonna have the same way the other person is seeing the chart, the same way. Even if that person is your mentor, right, you can have some lot of similarities with them, but you cannot ever have the same emotions and feelings. Certain things might not gonna work the same way that's working for him. Therefore, you cannot replicate whatever he is doing on that specific journal. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that whenever you're doing a trading journal, right, you have to all the time make sure that you give priority to this section over here. Now, some of you can be arguing or saying to me, okay, why are you talking about losses? How about the TP? Why should I not writing down the TP? Why should I not put where price hit my TP? If we take a TP on the order block, how did I hit a TP? What was my risk to reward? Now, I'll be honest with you guys, I personally never wrote anything about the TP saying, oh, I made a 1 to 5 and price came to the order block to the left or whatever. The reason why I don't do that is because my TP is already part of my trading plan. In my trading plan, I say to myself, if I take a trade from here, all the way down here, right, then what is the risk to reward that I have to aim for? Is 1 to 5. Do I have that? Yes, absolutely. Do I need to take partial? What do I take? 1 to 3 or 1 to 2 or even further? I don't know. It depends. Now, this is an example, right? Because I do take a long high risk to reward trade as well. So that's why I have specific targets and rules. My trading plan is telling me that we are going bearish. And if there is a momentum and potential for you to go for a 1 to 10 or 1 to 15, then just go for it. Just do that. Okay. And that's pretty much, okay, what you should be doing as well. Because if you know that you're taking, let's say, this trade over here, right? High, low, retracement. You're taking the trade over here. Now, if you're saying on your trading plan that your TP should be to the new low, structured new low, which is over here, high, low, then honestly, me personally, I don't see the reason of why I need to write it down. Oh, my price went to TP and he made a new low. It's just waste of time and waste of energy because that's a part of my rules anyway. And when he hits TP, that means that I'm following my rules and my plan, right? But the problem is when I hit a loss, do I acknowledge the fact that, price actually went wrong because of me or because of the chart? You guys understand the importance of this? That's why I've been saying to you guys that it's extremely crucial that you do put and pay attention to all the things that I just explained to you. To give you a quick recap of this part, right? I want you guys to then have this specific journal, structure it whatever way you want to do it. There are so many people that has different type of template, as I said, different type of diary. Some people literally write it down pen and paper. I used to do that as well. And then first thing first, try to figure out what type of trader you are. Try to pull out first thing first, what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths. This is very important. But you have to be very humble with yourself. You need to be fully conscious and you have to be humble with yourself. And there's nothing wrong with it because it's personal. Nobody's going to touch that. Nobody's going to judge you. You can write down every single type of negative emotions that you got that is affecting you every time that you're trading. That's already is the step one. Okay. So step one, try to write it down. Okay. Let me write it down over here. Okay. So step one, type all your emotions. Okay. Once you figure it out, step two, you can type anything you want that helps you to understand why you should be doing right or why you should be doing wrong. Okay, doing the things that, okay, one second, you know that you need improvement with. Okay, and that can be technicals, that can be emotional, whatever you want to do it. And on the step three, okay, step three, try to see the category. So try to categorize, yes, your type of losses while you are trading. And now, I'm not saying that these are the three things that you should be having only in your trading journal. All I'm saying, right, is that you need to have, is a must that you need to have all of this over here. And again, guys, this is everything based on my personal experience. I'm not saying that, that other people are wrong because again, everybody's doing it a different way. But those are the things that if you start implementing on your journal, apart from, because you might have in the journal, you might can try it out. Okay, I need more improvement on the technical because I don't feel confident with this type of strategy because of, I don't know, whatever the structure is saying, because maybe you're weak on understanding the liquidities. So you can write it down all the type of technical improvement you need. Of course, you can do that. But then the most important thing is the emotion, because you have to understand that emotions is one of the key reasons why a lot of people lose a lot of money, including myself. I lost so much money because of my emotions, because I didn't know how to distinguish the emotional losses versus the technical losses. I was doing so many mistakes, so many silly emotional mistakes, and I never wrote them down. Since I started everything writing down, trust me, most of my losses now started becoming technicals. It's just the same over and over again. Like, look, I can literally give you the example over here. This is a back testing that I did over Edo NCD based on the things that I trade, the understanding I have. And I can show you that if you see my losses over here, right? Look at this. There's one loss over here, one loss over here, one loss over here. Now, let me show you this. All these losses, okay, are based on structure, supply and demand, SMC, and some other extra confluences, tricks, and tips that I use personally for me to refine everything. Now, when price made this high, made this low, I try to take an entry over here, okay, for a pending. And as you can see, price stopped me out. But why did I do that? Because price's order flow is bearish. I'm taking the trade from the extreme. And price didn't respect that. It just took me out. You see, that got stopped out. Then we come back over here. Price takes an important low to the left. Then it goes high. It breaks to the upside. And again, the same exact thing. I take a trade on the extreme based on certain confluences and certain things that I see on the chart. And guess what? Price does not respect that. It takes me out. You see, it's the same stop over here, same stop over here. And then over here, the same exact thing. This was even better because news goes up, right? Open up the market or whatever, and then it takes all this liquidity out, goes down, breaks the structure, same exact thing, Waited for the mitigation on the extreme. This was actually one of the cleanest setup that I take usually. Boom, it took me out. But then again, you can see that when I go to my trading journal, now I don't have to say, oh, I take a stop loss because, oh, I had a FOMO here, or because I got angry, or because I got revenge trading, and I needed to take this. No, this loss is a technical loss. This loss is a technical loss. This loss over here is a technical loss. There are so many other things that can be added on the trading journal, and there are so many other things that I can advise you guys, guide you about it. But for the time being, these are the most important things that you may have to make sure that you have as a part of your plan. And in the meantime, if you guys have any particular emotions that you're struggling with, drop it down on the comment section below now, and I'll promise you that I'll make sure to make a video about it, and I'll give you direct tips and tips on that specific type of emotions and problematic that you're facing on your trading. Because trust me, I've been through a lot, and I can give you everything based on the experience that went. And in the meantime, if you're someone that's struggling with FOMO, you have a lot of FOMO, then watch this next video over here, because this video I go in depth and explain you further about what you should be doing in order for you to improve your FOMO trading and how you can become better with it. I'll see you to the next one.